Call this meeting to order. This is the Payson City Council meeting for October 18th, 2023, and the time is 6 o'clock. Council Linda Carter has volunteered to say the opening prayer.
Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come as members of Payson City, we are so thankful for the opportunity we have of living in this beautiful city. We pray, Father, that the things that we talk about and the things that we decide tonight will be beneficial for our city. Please bless the citizens that they will understand the importance of keeping in the know and coming and listening. We're so thankful for all our many blessings, and we ask these things in the name of thy beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Linda. Ladies and gentlemen, would you stand and repeat the pledge after me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation and under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go to B, consent agenda. Number one, approval of the October 4th, 2023 City Council minutes. Number two, proclamation Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Council, if there's no discussion on these two agenda items, I'm ready for a motion.
So moved with the Melville Kurt's change on the lung cancer awareness.
From women to individuals. Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt, noting that she is online with us.
Yes.
Council Christensen.
Yeah.
Council Prosgaard.
Yes.
Council Carter.
Yes.
Council Beecher.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to C, petitions. Chamber quarterly report. Tyler, are you here? Yeah, there you are. Tyler, come on up.
All right. So, sorry. All right, cool. So, so the Chamber of Commerce wanted to kind of reiterate its purpose. We took some time to refocus in on what its purpose is and things over this last quarter. The Chamber of Commerce is an organization dedicated to supporting local businesses and making our community a better place for them to operate. The Chamber helps businesses grow and gain visibility, establish credibility, and provide resources, networking opportunities, and support. The Chamber represents the voice of business of the business community and advocates for laws, ordinances, and regulations that support business growth and expansion. Successful businesses creates jobs, provides essential services, and generate tax dollars that are used to fund public amenities and services. As the Chamber of Commerce and local businesses work together, they enhance the business and economic climate, which in turn enhances the quality of life in our community. So that was one thing. A couple other things. Over this last quarter, we had 8 ribbon cuttings and 1 groundbreaking ceremony, and welcomed 9 new chamber members since July. We had booths at the Scottish Festival, West Mountain Farmers Market, Latino Festival, things like that. And we also hired a marketing director, and she has done phenomenal. Her name is Kat Santos. I've heard quite a few businesses that had no interaction with the Chamber of Commerce prior to it, and we'd ask them, "Hey, how'd you hear about us?" And they're like, "Oh, through Instagram or through all these other online sources that we had never really gotten a lot of traction on." So she's done super well there. The last time I was here, we talked about the program with the websites where we set up those. Those have done super well. Watching the traffic that it's generated for businesses that had a website and needed more traffic driven to it, and also for web or businesses that just had no online presence at all. So that's been a really good program as well. One other another recognition program that we started just in the last month or so is recognizing two students. Where'd it go? Two student athletes per week, and this is more than just one particular sport. I think it's all the, I can't remember the term they used, but it's all of the different programs. So dance company, marching band, all those different programs can be recognized in this. And it's been really cool. They've done a broadcast with social media and with the school announcements. It's been a great program. The students get tickets to Stadium Cinemas for two movie tickets. So we're super grateful for the theater for helping us out and putting that together. So let's see. And then we also did the Meet the Candidates night. That was super well attended. I don't think anyone wasn't offered a cookie. So tons of people there. And let's see. Oh, and then last thing that they wanted me to bring to you guys was to put January 11th on your calendar. That is the annual banquet that the Chamber of Commerce puts on. And we'd love to have any of the members of the city council there. So it's going to be at the Veterans Home here in Payson. R&R Barbecue will be providing the meal. So, and then we're going to have a speaker and yeah, going to be all sorts of fun stuff there. So please put that on your calendar and we'd love to see you there. Any questions or anything? All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Okay, we'll go to number 2, public forum. Anyone can speak on items not on the agenda. As always, try to be cognizant of your time. 3 minutes would be a good amount of time, and we'll go to that point. Doesn't look like anyone, unless it's Tyler. Come on up, Tyler.
Yeah, one minute. Actually. So we should be a lot of these. All right, so now I'm not representing the chamber. Now I'm representing Tabitha's Way. They are in Spanish Fork. They're a local food pantry, do a ton of good in the community, both Spanish Fork and Payson, all the surrounding communities. They are doing each Christmas and Thanksgiving, they do a food drive, and they give away tons of, I think it's somewhere around 400 to 500 families get a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. So a super cool program that they're doing. They are inviting each of the city council members to participate on, let's see, December 16th. And that'll be in Spanish Fork. They're going to be handing out the Christmas dinners that week. They basically create like a drive-through. All the families come, and they would like your guys' help to hand those out. What am I missing? If you can, they would love for you to scan the QR code, register on there so that they know how many to plan for. And they're also doing one for Thanksgiving as well. So if you want to help out with that, let either myself or Wendy Osborne know, and we'll get you connected with that. So, and then for this, for anyone else in the community, they're going to be having donations at Payson Market and at Stokes. So if you want to support that food drive, you can do that there by either purchasing, they'll have like pre-made bags you can purchase, or by just bringing donations. So thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Anyone else? Not seeing anyone here in this chamber. Kim, anything online? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public forum and move on to staff reports. Dave, you got something?
Yes, I'm waiting for my computer to reset. We had a kickball game today with the Wilson Elementary 5th graders. We had no injuries. So-
That's a good sign.
That's a first and a good sign. And the fifth graders beat us. But it was fun. It's fun to have them come and play once a year and sometimes twice a year. So we appreciate all the staff that helped and it was a fun time for the kids. Trying to think, Mayor and I met with representatives of the Rio Grande Railroad. They're looking at reopening up the Tinnick line that goes out to Alberta. There's several concerns and things we made them aware of. The mayor and the mayor of Goshen was there, and the mayor of Santa Quin, and so they're working through those things. I think there's some developments that want to start out there, and there's also some industrial uses, and so there's some concerns with the infrastructure and going through. That railroad hasn't worked for years, and they'd go right through Genola and Goshen, and so it was a good meeting, and the concerns were expressed. So I'm sure they'll be having additional meetings. We just want to let the council know that.
And also just to add on to that, they stressed that this is not a done deal. It's going to be at least a year-long process to find out all the different nuances that are going to have to be addressed. So it's just.
So what is it they're trying to take service out there?
Well, just to make that surface available, if in fact and they're getting some inquiries. But it's, they own that right away there, and so there's some other things that they have to comply to since it's been.
Probably have quite a bit of money and infrastructure to fix.
They do. And, environmental concerns, and so there's a whole list of things, probably at least a year. Okay, any other? Chief, thank you.
I don't have much. I was just, you probably see our officers around town tearing down garage sale signs and solar signs and cable TV signs and every sign under the book.
Campaign signs?
No. Yeah, we took all the campaign signs down. No, Kim and Jason and them, they've all been helping us with that, but we've been having abundance of just signs that are not supposed to be where they're at. I mainly bring this up because on Facebook we've been accused of taking campaign signs, which I assure you we have not. We don't have where to store them anyway, so. But anyway, if you hear rumblings about
We have
that,
this wonderful facility here that you can store them at.
well, I don't know that we want them. So anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
Appreciate what you do, Chief, and your officers. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to council reports. Starting with Council Beecher.
I don't have anything. I'm just glad to be here. Glad staff keeps doing their job the way they keep doing. They do a great job. So
Okay, Council Carter.
I attended the chamber meeting on Tuesday morning, 7:30. Anyway,
to get up early, Linda.
you don't have to. Anyway, they're constantly looking for chamber members, and they do such a good job. Jim does such a wonderful job. We appreciate the chamber and all that they do. And I can't think of anything else to complain about.
Thank you, Linda.
That wasn't bad.
No, that's good. I'd like to chime in. Usually they don't, but sometimes they do. But would like to let the public be aware that for 20 some odd years, there's been a shop with a cop that has occurred over, most of the time in Spanish Fork. There were times when we rotated that through Spanish Fork and American Fork, and I believe even Provo. But it's mainly in Spanish Fork. Shop with the Cop will be December the 9th. And one of the main reasons I'd like to mention this is our royalty will be participating in that, as well as our bagpipers from Payson High School. So it would be Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Talk about really early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's a very good event, very worthwhile. I might mention, one of the ribbon cuttings that Tyler had documented was the America First ribbon cutting, which was very, very welcome. And I would mention this. I mentioned smudging, and everybody wondered what the world smudging was. Had all kinds of looks, and thankfully, the CEO of America First rescued me. He knew exactly what I was talking about, but I did explain it, with regards to keeping the orchards warm as they could and keeping the buds from freezing. So he rescued me. Anyhow, that's a wonderful addition to our community. So thank you, Council Prostar.
A couple things, Mayor. The South Utah Power Board meeting next Thursday, Dave. We talked about having one of the other council members go, since I won't be able to be there. I'd sure like somebody to be there to cover.
Okay.
It's kind of, we're getting down to some commitments that are coming. $1 million wise is what Payson City will be looking at. Spanish will be looking at about 2. So I just want everybody to stay in the info on that. So well, I'm not looking at you, Linda.
I could go if you need me to.
Would you?
It's early morning, right?
Yeah, it's at 6.
Yeah, I'm out.
Linda, listen to this. It's at 6:15
Yeah, well, that's.
I'm good at 6:15.
at the El Chaparral in Spanish Fork, the fairgrounds.
Oh, okay.
building.
The first.
as you're
building,
walking
yeah.
down.
It's right on the north back corner.
back, that's, okay.
Okay.
North back corner of the stadium, of the arena.
And I know Sean will be there from our staff.
The high chaparral, Brad and Sean's been, I mean,
Yeah, they're,
Payson's well represented, but I'd like member of the voting board. I mean, we carry the vote there, right?
Yep.
So I'd like somebody to be there just to stay informed. And then there'll only be one more meeting this year, and that'll be in November. And I plan on being to that. Also, real
You
quick,
said it's at 6:15.
yeah,
oh, dark 30. Yeah, that's.
and they usually have some warm orange juice and day-old donuts for you.
Nice.
Warm orange juice, that don't sound inviting.
Yeah, they never put it in ice or anything. It just during the summer, it was really warm. Now that it's cooling a little bit, it might be better.
Might be better. Okay.
I thought that might entice you, Kurt.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be looking forward to that.
And then just a little update on the scale house. Trying to get that ready and get it opened. They've got the road graded now. I know they're pushing to try to get some asphalt laid before the weather hits. But the scale house itself is ready to go. I'm real leery. Brad and I went out and he was able to get power. We're running power off Kenny Sing's generator, which is a good thing right now since we're still trying to figure out power with Strawberry, right? Guys, I thought in the 90s when I was on the council that we'd have this resolved by now. But here we are 30 years later to the day, and we still can't get Strawberry to work with us on as simple as getting power to our scale house.
I think we're as close as we've ever been though.
I know we're close, but dang it, we gotta. Yeah. Anyway, Kenny brought in another trailer last week that they pulled power off it too. Did you notice that? It's on the north side of our scale house.
Don't we still have a generator?
We need a big one. Meaning,
Yeah, we bought the one that was running that house up in Elk Creek. Is it still running that house?
I don't think, we never had to put that up there.
did we buy that? I don't think we ever did that.
Didn't we?
Uh-uh.
I thought we talked about it.
No.
Yeah, we did talk about it. We ran power from the other house. And Strawberry was okay with that.
Anyway,
I wish we had it.
we're only getting 35 amps to the building. And the
That
furnace,
barely runs the lights.
the furnace and the computers and the lights is more than that, so. we're trying to figure another solution out quick because we're ready to open that thing up in the next. We need to get them out of the old one because the furnace is out in it. And I couldn't see putting any money into it right now. With our brand new and ready to go.
Where's the new scale house in relation to the old one?
Straight up the hill into Kenny's pit.
Yeah.
To the left, and we've got a new road graded coming out of our pit.
So we don't have to, so you don't have to stack up on the road quite as long?
Well, at least you'll be able to stack them up going all the way up that hill.
Yeah, instead of out on the
Out on the
highway.
But there's quite a bit of more room once you turn in.
Yeah, once you turn in,
You may
there's
not
not,
even
but
stack
the
out
problem,
there.
the only problem I see with that, and we've discussed this, is Kenny's got trucks going in and out of there.
All the time.
I mean, nonstop, all day.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I'd like to make a comment about that if I may.
Yeah.
I've talked to Ken.
By yourself, please.
Who is it?
This is Dale.
Okay,
Oh,
Dale.
Dale, get
I-
it up, take your voice.
I've talked to Ken about it several times. Along with power, you also need to get fiber out there for the network. I had somebody call a couple weeks ago and saying they're ready to install computers out there. And we can install computers, but they will have no internet or network connection.
Thank you, Dale. Appreciate that input.
You mean you can install typewriters out there is what you're saying?
Well, you could type on them, do word processing, but you can access the internet or any files on the network or anything.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Council Christensen.
Well, I appreciated the extra time we got with our pressurized irrigation. However, I needed it yesterday and it was off, but had some new sod and couldn't water my own yard. But no, it was good that they ran that and that they were willing to work with us. I think it came in handy for some people. Otherwise, I think the city's just been doing a great job and I appreciate it. I know that it seems sometimes we're headed in the wrong direction. Had a good talk with Anthony down at the motor pool yesterday, and just that he's thinking ahead and getting our garbage trucks rolled through and getting things done that way. And I appreciate that. I think we're getting to be more efficient and making money on our vehicles rather than losing it. So, but that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. You bet. Go ahead.
It's only fair to the citizens to know that we are at the mercy of Strawberry Canal Company. When they pull the water out of the canal on dry years, we're done. We have no say in the deal. This year we've been able to because we had water stored in Payson Canyon from a wet spring that we were very fiducious in not releasing it. And that's what allowed us to stay open this year. But when Strawberry Canal Company shuts the water off October 1st or September 28th, we're done.
Well, I think it was a good idea to maybe take a little bit of water out of our reservoirs as well. I think they were still sitting at full, and
Absolutely.
it's just planning ahead. It's
It
good.
worked out well. And I talked to Highline yesterday and they're gonna try to maybe extend another week next year to try to.
When do we pick up CUP?
It's still probably 3 or 4 years
Yeah,
out.
CUP is 26.
I hope it's a long way out because we have to start paying.
Yeah,
for it.
Well, I know. Yeah.
Sorry, but the bills comes due when you have to take it.
Yeah, but look at all the water we get.
Well, maybe we can rent it out. You know, that's one of the options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teresa's still on.
Teresa. Oh, Teresa, please
Yeah.
chime in if you'd like. Sorry.
I was just listening to everybody. I know that I've had several people talk to me about expansion and where we're going to get the water at, and I have brought up the CUP. I think that's a worry with a lot of people with building Payson out. Maybe we need to educate them a little bit more about where that water's going to come from so that they're not so worried that their water's going to be shut off or be gone. I
Yep.
wouldn't have even brought that up, but that was just another one that talked to me about it a couple days ago. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll bring that up.
That's a great point, Teresa.
It is.
We currently use about 3,300 acre feet of water a year from Strawberry and from Payson Canyon. Our guarantee from CUP is
55.
5,500 acre feet. So we,
Wow.
water,
As far as irrigation water, we should be good.
Yeah, shouldn't have
I
any
think
problem with
I think we
irrigation.
use 33 and we've got 35 from Strawberry.
right, 35.
And Kirk, it is clean enough that if we need to purify it, that's a possibility too for drinking water, right?
No,
It
but
is.
we can't from Strawberry.
You could-
CUP, you could.
CUP water,
CUP we can, but not Strawberry.
yeah, but
You're working on a facility to do that, so that's a different animal, but at the same, I don't know how they,
it could be drinking water. It would take some agreements to make it drinking water. Even though we're working on a facility with the district, it's gonna take some agreements even to use it for drinking water. So it's,
That's available.
yes,
it's,
but it can't. have-
yes, but not
It's
Soft
water
made.
out of Strawberry Reservoir.
right. It's not what we want to use for drinking
Water
water,
out of
but
Strawberry Reservoir. It's actually water that started in the high Uintas.
Well, we've got wells that Hanson Values keeps track of and make sure that where the level is, and so far it's holding.
Our drawdown's not too much then.
Okay.
Hey,
Except for
that's all I have.
Linda had one. Oh, are you done, Teresa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Linda had one more item.
Just because I want to end on a funny note. I apologize for not coming and playing kickball. Was it last year we played them or a year?
every year.
That's every year.
And I leaned over to the mayor and I said, "Did you play?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Did you play better than you did last year?"
I couldn't remember how bad I did, but it must have
Well,
done
you
bad.
couldn't run.
Oh,
I couldn't run.
Okay.
You have to have a designated runner.
No, they never gave us that option. So anyway, that was fun to play. And I feel bad I missed my last turn to do it.
You can always.
You
come
can
back.
always still
You can always
come.
come back.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Okay, we'll go on to D, adjourn to redevelopment agency. I'll take a motion to
Move
do
to
that.
adjourn to the redevelopment agency.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call starting with Council Council Beecher,
Yes.
Council Carter,
Yes.
Council Prosgard.
Yes.
Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, we are in redevelopment agency, and remember, we are directors. That's
We're
what-
directors now.
Yeah,
not
and I have to
council.
remember that myself, so that's why I said that. Okay, resolution memorandum of understanding with MTech. Dave?
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, we've talked to the council about this in the past. MTech is building their new facility. And we've requested that they add a room or an area that we call the Innovation Center to allow the city and along with MTech to have machinery and things in there that small businesses, other people can utilize. Am I speaking right, Brian?
Well,
That's the maker space.
yeah, that's maker.
Okay,
They're just office space.
This is
Well, yeah.
small business.
Like, well.
yeah, come on up.
State your name, please.
We don't know who you are.
I'm trying to pull it up here.
So, yeah, what it is it's more of a space for startup and small businesses to learn, a resource center. So there'll be places where we can have some startups have rent office spaces for good prices. We'll have some printers and small items like that they can use there. And then we'll have some like phone booths and podcast room. Anyways, for kind of for startup businesses and then we'll have some ways that they can be taught lessons because be taught classes because MTech has some other space that we can rent that or not rent. They're going to let us use for teaching classes for businesses too.
And they were gonna staff it part-time.
That's UVU.
UVU was gonna staff.
Staff part-time. I'm getting an MOU from them. So we're working on an MOU from them and with this space, MTech will take care of all the utilities, any cost associated with it, cleaning, stuff like that.
We just had the initial cost.
We're just paying the lease.
Paying the
Kind of like
square-
rent.
the
Yeah,
square
we're
foot.
paying the initial lease up
This
front.
this kind of like an upfront lease payment. And we do have some funds in the RDA that we could use for this. And this is just the MOU that gives the shell. The detail will come in an agreement that we'd have to agree upon. And, you know, a lot of that's going to be how long is the lease? Is it going to be 10 years, 15 years? You know, the longer the better for us, for that money. And we want to make sure it's money well spent. But it'd be a great facility there, and it's much cheaper than trying to build our own innovation center for ourselves. And to be partnered with MTech and UVU, it could be a great thing for small business and people trying to start up their own businesses. So
Taking advantage of the learning institutions that are coming.
right.
Have you seen the one in Springville on the west side of the freeway? That you can rent space,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
both workspace and office space for very similar, only ours is more as a city investment, right? Into our people,
Yep.
giving our people the opportunity to start and get the help they need to get going.
Where we
Right.
have the learning institutions and we take advantage of those.
We
Exactly.
done good.
So this is pretty broad. You'll get the detail as we work those things out. And I, you know, if it all fell apart, we're not out anything at this point, but this is a memorandum of understanding that we're on board to try to get to that point.
Okay, any council discussion that we haven't already had? Okay, as directors, I'll accept a motion.
I move we approve the resolution for the memorandum of understanding with MTech and authorize the mayor to sign whatever he is.
Director.
The
What am I,
director, the
the
chief
manager?
director.
You're the chair.
Director
Madam
chair, director chair to sign said memorandum.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt,
Yes.
Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Prosgard.
Yes.
Council Carter.
Yes.
Oh, Director Carter.
Oh, yes.
Director Beecher. Sorry.
Yes.
All of you are directors, okay?
Still yes.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn from redevelopment agency.
Okay.
now.
Second.
okay. Again, roll call vote, Director Beecher,
Yes.
Director Carter,
Yes.
Director Prosgard,
Yes.
Director Christensen,
Yes.
Director Hyatt.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. So we are adjourned from redevelopment agency. Number F, work session discussing discussion regarding city surveys. Dave?
Okay. Mayor and council wanted to, and I'll share my screen here in a minute, but we did a survey. You're all aware of that about a year ago. There's some great information that we had. We wanted to do a follow-up survey. We have budgeted money to do that, but I wanted some suggestions, direction of how the council wanted to go. And we'll review through this survey of some of the direction we received from the residents. It was pretty successful as a survey. We had a pretty good response. I think there were 1,600 people that responded to the survey. And as far as surveys go, that's a good response rate for types of surveys. But we'll review through this a little bit. And then I know back when the survey was done, it was like for our second survey, we dive deeper into the information that we've had to try to build on that. Like for instance, one of the higher recommendations of the residents was to have a rec center. And so do we do our next survey and have some questions? Okay, you've indicated that you'd love to have a rec center here. You know, would you be willing to pay this much to build this rec center? Maybe
That's an important question.
deep dive into that and other things of the survey to try to either get more information, more detailed information from the residents, what they want, or maybe we can expand into other areas as well. But we wanted to have a discussion. We don't need to take a long time, but we could take 20, 30 minutes or however long you want. But can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull this up so everybody can see it. And glad to have, staff can weigh in as well. Anybody that's here, we've got some council candidates, they can all weigh in as well too, but okay. So I won't go through the whole thing because it's a lot detailed, but these are some of the highlights that that was put together by the individual that helped with the survey. The ratings were generally positive. There are a few areas of concern, suggestions. There's a refer a friend score as part of the survey. Strongly and somewhat positive. Citizens tend to love the small town feel and the neighborliness of the community. Primary concerns include street and road issues, growth and increasing congestion, and lack of business district. The respondents tended to be positive about the direction of the city. Most important for topics are manage the growth and density of the city, preserve the small town feel, preserve a good cost of living, ensure the infrastructure is maintained, and maintain and expand streets, curbs, and sidewalks. These are some of the takeaways that came. If you look at, I'll just go through some of these quickly. This is just the area where the surveys were sent. They broke it out into different areas so you could see where the responses came from. The demographics, if you look here, 32% are between 18 and 39, 31% 40 to 54, and 31% 55 to 74. So it's pretty equal in all age groups of who responded. Male and female, it's almost equal, 52 to 47%. And then how long people have lived in the city that answered. And the cool thing about this, if you really want to dig in, if you look here up here on gender, you can pull this up, and if you just want to select the male, it comes back to say 31% of those between 18 and 39 were male, and how long they lived. So you could really dig down with the information that we currently have, and it will give you some information as well. This was if you would you refer a friend to live in Payson or be here? And if you look at this, you look from 7 to 10, which is favorable. You almost have 70% of people that said they would refer people to Payson, recommend the city to a friend. This is just information that was part of the survey. And then here it's why would you refer a friend rating? And you look on the side here, if it's a down arrow, there's some concerns here. If there's a smiley face, small town feel, rural, that's a good thing. And it kind of just goes through some of the data points. And then if you want to really get into the detail, you can look at the individual people and what they wrote. I feel Payson is a great place to live and raise a family. I do wish there were more businesses here, and our taxes and city utilities would decrease, as it's hard to keep paying the high prices. It's a good community. We just need more families and kids to do so. So you can go back and look at exactly what people put in their comments.
Dave, is this
Sorry.
available on the city website?
What's that?
Are the results available on the city website?
I thought we put it on the website. It was originally on the website. I think it probably still is.
That on point that came and gave us the presentation.
Yeah.
It was on at that time.
I'll have to double check. I haven't checked for a while.
Mike mentioned that the On Point guy is local, and so it was.
Yeah.
And we have, contact with him, and does a great job. In fact, what he relayed to us was he was quite surprised how positive it was too. So
If you look at here, it says the direction of the city. Oh, Teresa, did you say something? Did you have a comment?
Donna does.
Who?
Oh, it
Donna.
wasn't me. It
Yeah.
wasn't me.
It's Donna. You said staff could chime in. Can I chime in?
Sure.
I'm trying to find my copy. I made a copy of the survey, but when it first came out, I played with it a lot. And the library was mentioned several times through the survey, but I haven't seen any mention of the library in any of the things that you've put up so far.
I'm still going. You'll see it.
Okay, just want to make sure we get stuck in there somewhere with the rec center.
So this page just shows since you first moved here, has the city improved, stayed the same, or gotten worse? And it looks like on, on this, it's a little more positive. There's some that are the same, and then some say it's a little worse. Is the city going in the right direction? And then there's a comparison to other cities. Is it much better? There's some that say it is somewhat better, about the same, and then you go somewhat worse. So if you take it on the positive side from about the same to better, it's 75 to 80%.
There's really interesting stuff on that. If you go from anybody who's been here from.
Right, it doesn't pick you up out there, sorry.
Come on up. Brian, when he was on the council, was involved with Ron from On Point, so he's been involved with it.
It's really interesting as you go through this survey. Anybody that's been here from 1 to 10 years was very positive about the city and said it's been made great changes since they've moved here. Anybody that's been here 20 years plus, it was pretty even, or anyway, so the people that moved here really appreciate Payson and what it's doing and how it's, anyway, it's just interesting to do that.
Might want to stay up here if you're gonna have comments. Anyway, these are just indexes. We can skip through some of this. City facilities and events. What are the most important to those that took the survey? You look at the top: city parks, open space, and trail system. And then over it says, is it very good, okay, or very poor? And on this one, from very good to okay, it's good. The historic downtown here, that was important, but it looks like it's poor on the side, most, 38%. 44% said it's okay. But you can just see as it goes down: city events, the library, Payson community pool, recreation programs, and then it goes down from most important to less important. Golf courses at the bottom, a Petite Neat museum, tennis and pickleball courts. This is city benefits. The most important: the small town feel, good cost of living, family friendly. That family friendly looks like it's most of the people said it's very good in that situation, 63%. Quality restaurants and shopping, that's about in the middle of importance to those that took the survey, and we're 59% said we're poor there. We need more restaurants, and I think the council's aware of that. Growth and development, the most important, those that took the survey: ensure maintenance of public infrastructure. Again, okay is 40%, 47% it's poor: streets and drainage, and then manage the growth and density of the city. 41% thought that was important, and that's on the poor side. We need some work to do there as far as the perception of the city or the residents that took the survey. New restaurants, same thing there. Safety and security. Major concern is traffic congestion and management. City beautification, crime prevention. If you look at that, most say we're okay to good. If you take the okay and very good. So you just go down this sidewalks, pedestrian trails, police services. If you look at police services, you take the very good and the okay, it's 80-something%. So we've done well on several of these. City operations, maintain, expand streets, curb, gutter, sidewalk. That's a recurring theme that you've seen. They'd like to see the road and transportation system improved with curb, gutter, and sidewalk as well. Maintaining city infrastructure, manage the city budget, maintain, expand parks and trails. And so there's good information here of what the citizens that took the survey felt, that how the city was doing. This was those on employee contact with the residents. As you see here, utility billing where there's the most contact, and that seems natural. People paying their bill. They have contact with those. Public works, police department, public library, those are all who the citizens have more contact with. And it's good down to the justice courts, the least amount. That's a good thing. That there's not a lot of contact there. Anyway, I'm just seeing if there's other things that we can. These are the importance of the city events. Onion Days is the most important event according to those that took the survey. Salmon Supper. There's the band concert, Scottish Festival, the Christmas Nativity Creche that goes on, the Payson Community Theater. So you can see all of our events that we have throughout the year and the importance that's placed on it by those that took the survey. Keeping a small town feel, they would like to have more sidewalks and wider sidewalks, trails throughout the city. We're working on those things as well. Agriculture protection operations, community cleanup events. These are some of the things that they felt were important to those that took the survey. These are some of the, these were some of the things that we did on our first adventure days. Overview, anything more to say? Concern about taxes, fees, keep under control roads, public parks and spaces, the growth, crowding, construction, traffic improvements, positive comments. There were quite a few thank yous, sidewalk improvements, water concerns. So it just goes down from the most of those that commented what they were feeling about. Anyway, I just wanted to get to this point and maybe have some discussion. Let me see if I can find the.
You know, as you've reviewed those questions, if we're contemplating doing another survey, I think all those questions are still appropriate. Then we can see if anything has changed.
These were some of the, we meant by these, but these are the new investment priorities and what we want to prioritize in. So maybe we can have a discussion on this. I mean, we did, you know, there's curb and gutter and sidewalk. That's one that kept coming. So if you want to, maybe on the second survey, do we dive deeper into that? The recreation center, do you want to find out really how important that is to the residents?
You know, one thing that the residents need to understand there too, and maybe we can relay that in there is that a recreation center, I don't know if anybody would not like to have one, but they're extremely cost ineffective.
They're subsidized.
And yes, and you know, all we have to do is look to the community to the north of us. They have 50,000 people plus, and we have maybe 23, and they're just barely getting one. We just make sure that we are financially able to support one.
I think education wise, if you're going to put those questions out there, you know, for instance, finishing curb, gutter and sidewalk, it hasn't fallen on deaf ears in the council. We've talked about it. We've looked at it. We've done studies. We've looked at how much it would cost. I'd love to put a number on that. Say in the last survey, these top items were listed in the order you felt they were most important. These are the cost of those. Divided amongst each household, it'd be this much over so many years. Re-rank these now and tell us what's the most important to you.
Right.
And just so it's just black and white. They know that if to do curb, gutter, and sidewalk was, I don't remember the number. It was so astronomical. I've purged it from my mind. What, 50?
15.
No, it wasn't 15. 15 was the first number. And I was like, pull the trigger. Let's do it. It was
sidewalk, but then we said, no, you can't just do
the storm drain.
You've got to have a storm drain and it more than quadruple.
And the asphalt.
And the asphalt.
the tie in. It was
And the
70 million or
subgrade
something was what they were.
preparation. all the other stuff, so.
So I
76
guess the
million.
thing that if, meaning not if we're gonna do this, when we do this, a broader stroke of, okay, curb gutter and sidewalk, are you willing to participate financially? Is the citizen? Here's the problem that we found in the past, right? Those that have curb and gutter sidewalk don't wanna pay for it again, right?
Right.
Those that don't wanna pay for it, or they would already have it. So somewhere in there, we've gotta find how they want us to pay for it, right?
Yep.
And I think the council went more than we should. I mean, not more than we traditionally should have in this budget year, but we budgeted money to do a bunch this year, right?
Some,
But wait, I think it was $300,000 a year or something with budgeted.
$300,000 a year rotating,
Right.
that would help get this pushed along, but if they want more and quicker, give us some creative ideas how
Well, that,
citizens want to finance it. How they
that
want to.
brings up the transportation fee we've talked about.
It is. Yeah.
A general bond, but we can't, I mean, we're about bonded out because of our sewer.
To the sewer, I just.
And that's probably another discussion we need to have
It
in the
is.
future.
That's such a crappy deal.
We're sitting out there. We've still kind of got an open end on the sewer, right?
Well,
We're at 65 million?
No.
60?
now we're 74,
72.
72.
well, they came to us 6 years ago, and said, let's do it. It'll cost this much. And we thought it was astronomical then. It would have been pennies on the dollar compared to what it is now, but
We're
hindsight.
we're at the mercy of the economy.
So
I just spent the last 15 minutes trying to find this on the,
the website.
and I can't find it.
Okay,
So
well,
we need to make it accessible for the paper.
Yep. I know it was up there for quite some time, but maybe it's been taken off. You were? Okay.
I guess my comment would be, let's make it broader on, okay, if you want a rec center. How do you want to pay for it? Here's some ideas, but we're open for the citizenry to say. You know, think out of the box, pay for it this way, pay for it. User fee is not gonna pay for a rec
No,
center.
it's not.
It's proven.
It's not gonna pay for
That it's going to be subsidized in years to come by the city. Recreation is just a very important thing to citizens, but it's always subsidized by the citizens. With that said, how do we get the initial building built? And within that broad stroke I'm talking about, all right, what do you want in a rec center? You want an indoor swim pool? You want a jogging path? Or, you know, what is it that the citizenry wants? That's the kind of questions that we could break down in those top.
We could try to dive down more into that.
Yeah.
I know in the past, we worked with Salem City a little bit to try to do a joint rec center. That broke down a little bit because we wanted it in our city, they want it in our city, and it's hard to find a location in between, but
Well, now we got some in between
yeah, we've.
on both sides of it, right?
Survey is still on the website.
Okay.
The other thing that I think Donna would really, and many of the citizens would enjoy is a deeper dive into what it would take for a new
You know where
bike
at.
as well.
It should show you where.
That ain't keep church over there.
So those, I mean, if the direction and we can talk about rec centers, we can talk about curb gutter. I talked to Lacey a little bit today and, maybe it's better, more cost effective to put a bubble over our existing pool and provide that, maybe do something at the Wilson School or something when we're going to take over to do some rec things and instead of building a brand new facility. So there's,
Library's number 4.
right.
On the citizens' mind.
Yep.
Library needs.
Library needs to be addressed, all right?
To be addressed.
There's a library, the fire station is a little further down. We did budget some money to do a study for the fire station. The new city center, it's down even further than the fire station. So there's several buildings that would be nice to have in the city, but is that the priority that you as the council want or the citizens? So maybe we do a deeper dive on those facilities and say what, how would you propose that we do this?
Well, the citizens are the ones that drive us, right?
Yeah, well,
Have to cause us to vote the way we vote. And so the more citizen input we can get on I think the top 5 or 6 items in a broad questionnaire, I'm all for it. Let's get some great input.
the thing that we need to talk about, and I think we've done it pretty good as I was going back through and reviewing this. you know, we are working on getting trails. We are working on, I think we're taking the information that they gave us, the residents, and we're trying to incorporate those, but maybe we need to be more vocal about those and say, hey, based on the survey, we're working on this, or we're doing this. But if we can get more information on what, you know, what the desires are, it might help us to focus our goals as we go into the budget year next year and what we want to prioritize.
And I don't think, sorry, go Bob, you're up.
The Huey should open that.
Yep.
They've got open mic on Tuesday night. And we've addressed the arts as much as we can. And for a town 23,
We're doing pretty good.
we're doing good.
So I got a question for you. So we've talked about a new city center because of this building. Okay, but it's way down the list. So do we try to incorporate that into a survey saying, here's why it might be good to look at a new city center because of the cost of this, maintain this building, the energy costs, the upkeep? Is that something, even though it's way down the list, or we just don't worry about that because it's so far down the list?
I just mentioned to Linda that may be well to combine a city center and library together.
Yeah, make that the selling point.
Anyway, it's just,
And
man, it's way down the list. So do you even address that?
I do too. And I think that when you write this survey, I would love to see that educational aspect of it. You guys talked about wanting curb gutter and sidewalk throughout the city. We've allocated $300,000 towards that. This is what we've done. Is that enough? Do you want more? Where are we at there? You come down, you've got this Payson Canyon hiking trail to Maple Dell. I think it's more in the works and the citizens know that's, hey, this is where we're at. Projected look is this far out. We're waiting for the funding to come in to do this. How much more do you want? Are we on track for those things so that they know we're moving forward? Because you don't see it until it's there.
I think we get with the on-point guy and have him develop it and then bring it to the council and take a look at.
Yeah, we'll start working on some questions, and we can get with staff internally and try to come up with some questions, and then get with Ron at On Point, try to focus that a little bit. We can let the council weigh in on, we can give you the draft questions. Anyway, we want to make it effective, and we want to make it so that it means something as we move forward. So
Want to get as much input as we can.
Well, and in that survey, is what I'm hearing Brett say is, let's make sure they understand what we've already done too, and let them know that that there are things we have done.
Yep.
If it can be incorporated in the survey.
yeah, I don't know if there's just statements we can put in there, because like you say, on the trail to Maple Dell, we've had a study done. We've got grant funding. We're just securing right away now, and that'd be a great trail that goes up to Maple Dell. Anyway, anything else? Any staff? Anybody in the audience? I just come up here.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to come up can give comment if you want.
Do you want me to say my name, or I'm just, okay, so my name's Lacey Smith. I would only say, and this just comes as obviously a citizen, I feel like I see everything and I'm involved and I try to pay attention to things. And I was just doing the statistics roughly of our population versus how many people took the survey. And of course, like Bob says, we want the input before putting it out and putting the money out there to get it all together. And then I would hate for it to go again and fall on deaf ears again, and to have ideas of how it's going to be, put out there to the citizens to make sure people even know about it. So that would be my biggest concern, because I feel like you can't even get accurate numbers. I personally have been 2 to 3 hours every night knocking doors and sitting and talking with people for the past couple weeks. And most of them, it comes back to they just don't know where to find information. And I understand they have to take initiative also. But I bet you some people didn't even know about this survey. And so to me, I'm in numbers. And to me, 16% of the community, I wouldn't even call those accurate numbers to me. So
Well, the only problem with that is we only have that many people that vote.
no,
So
I get that also, and I'm also pushing that too, telling them that it's about a 30 to 35%, you know, and if people want their voices heard, that's the only way to do it.
So I
But-
like your idea of an educational component to this before we put the survey out.
Yeah,
We, I hear you, but we put this in the newsletter. We had a open house. We done everything we could to educate and get people. Somewhere we're missing the nerve that sparks the interest, right?
mhm.
We got to find that nerve.
And I'm happy to even like come up with some ideas and send them all to you guys of like things that I feel. I know it sounds silly to say that, you know, like I know we don't have the resources to do what I'm doing, obviously, but even if you break up the neighborhoods and there are people willing to be a chairman of a neighborhood and they're the ones that get out there, if they're really passionate about, you know, letting their voices be heard, I know that I would sign up for something like that and I would go. I mean, I had a 5-year-old in tote last night riding a scooter along because I'm passionate on something, you know?
One of the 15% that is engaged, right?
And I also vote, yes.
You can tell by the
Sorry.
amount of people that attend.
Yes, but I mean, just something like that I feel like if you were able to break up grid wise, that's thankfully Utah's a great grid, right? And people were willing to almost like instead of a neighborhood watch program, it's a community watch program, a community, awareness program, and someone sign up. And if they're really passionate about their community, they're going to do it. So anyway, that's just an idea.
Thank you, Lacey.
Just before you get, I'll let Brian, I just put this up here. This is the source of those that took the survey. Our email list comes from Neville School District because they have much more accurate, because they take care of their students and their parents. But 50% came from email, 48% came from a text. We did send it out in the utility bill. We only had 2% of that. And then Facebook, we had a few, but it didn't register. But and I think on surveys, I'm not an expert on surveying, but I think on surveys, it's not about the number of people that took it, it's the sample size and the survey size. So I know it's only 16%, but as far as the sample size, I understand that's pretty good because they do it based on the sample.
Didn't he say we doubled what the normal sample is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really good turnout, and I agree, we want as many people to take the survey, but as far as the survey goes, we had a really good turnout. And they say once you're about above 500 or 600 people, doesn't matter if there's 1 million people out there, your results don't change very much. And we had 1,300 people take the survey. So as far as that goes, it's really good, but we want to get as many people to take the survey.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh, one more comment and then.
Yeah, just one more comment for those that don't know Carl with the Recreation Department. As if we're asking questions about the library and rec center, and if we're using the same survey company, we might want to utilize some companies that specialize in the, I drew a blank on the word, but anyway, surveying the public, the feasibility studies for libraries and or rec centers. There's companies that are doing that multiple times a year specifically on those, and it might be good to bring those questions in for that area. So just a thought.
You mentioned that we've hired a marketing director for the Chamber of Commerce. She would be a great resource.
Yeah, for sure. For getting that out and everything. But I think companies like EDA architects or VCBO architects that are doing this for communities throughout the state or Western United States, they might have really good questions to put in, and this survey company could still do the survey, but they might have the right questions that might help for each of those.
Point well taken. Yeah.
And as far as diving down on the areas that we want to dive down to, we will get to a point like if a rec center or if the library / city building or fire building, if that becomes a priority, then the next step would be to get some sort of a concept or a design and a kind of an estimated cost. And then you can go out with a survey and say, okay, are you willing to pay this much to get this built. So we just got to keep diving down and try to listen to what the citizens are saying and try to make those our priorities. Anyway, that's all I had. If you have any more comments, if not, just think about it and we'll try to get some questions going and get another survey ready before the end of the year.
Okay, again, I guess we're thankful for that discussion. Going on to number 2, Utopia report.
Oh, Utopia, it is fall break and they couldn't come down. They were willing to come down in a future meeting.
Okay.
The reason I brought it up is I talked with him at another event and he just said, boy, Payson's doing awesome. Utopia bonded to finish building out the city and we indicated that we would back that. If we didn't get the take rate, then there's a possibility we have to pay to help pay the bond, but we're so far ahead of that. We've even been getting rebates. So I think it's worked out really well. People love the service. It's fast. So I just wanted him to come down. So I'll get him to come down on another time that he can give you the data points and the detail and just show how well it's going. Jason's on, he sits on their meetings on the board. So
If somebody else on the end doesn't do it.
I resemble that remark. It comes back to that. I teach school and they're always in school. So it's kind of tough.
Always during the whole summer.
Yeah, I came down and sat through one of them. I was fine leaving it to you.
Okay, in light of that, then I guess we're ready for a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you.